And bam, just like that, it's on and cracking. Once again, welcome to the His Show, of stories written by a current prisoner with your favorite journalist, Tony. Wow, has it been an exciting week? I'm not gonna lie, ladies and gentlemen. Powder, he got down on this one, man. He really did a good job on this one. I'm not even gonna lie, this is probably one of my favorite stories. I have a really good feeling, man, that you guys are really gonna enjoy this story. And I hope you guys do, man. I sincerely appreciate you guys writing along. I sincerely appreciate you guys' kind comments. And thank you so much for you guys' support, man. Please hit that like button and that subscribe button. And that's it if you want to listen to prison stories, directly from the source, directly from the horse's mouth. Hit that like button for your boy. You already know how we do, man. Let's go ahead and do this.
Thank you. Thank you. Here I am again, man. We're kind of getting back on track, getting the ball rolling a little bit on, consistency and me being able to have the ability and the availability to be able to keep sharing my experience and keep educating everybody on this crazy freaking lifestyle that we're living in, because there's all kinds of unique situations that happen in prison, and everybody seems like a lot of people, more common now, have a family member that's in prison, or they know somebody that's in prison, or, their kids are running around with some friends that are starting this, it's a bad group for them to hang around. And, you want to pay attention to this type of stuff because it's really crazy. And you get these guys that start gangs too, the people that, it's kind of crazy, and it's interesting how a person can just come up with creating a gang and the direction of the gang and the intentions and stuff like that, because all gangs, they start from somewhere, and usually they start from one or two or three or four people putting it together. They come up with this idea and this whole creation of how they're going to put it together, and with great power comes great responsibility. With comes great responsibility comes great power as well. So, I'm going to take you back to this little, this unique story and this unique gang that was going on the active main line out here in California. And the reason why I'm going to share this story is because I think it's very important to know, the difference between peckerwoods. A lot of people have their own perception of what a peckerwood is and what a wood is and what a skinhead is, and there's a lot of difference between skinheads, and there's a lot of difference between skinheads and woods. Okay, and peckerwood, that term actually came from California Youth Authority, which is like something before prison, and it started there, but it started as a derogatory term by calling someone a peckerwood, and then they ended up just adopting that and running with it. So now you see like these white power peckerwood gangsters and things like that. But out here in Sacramento, I'm from Southern California. I was born and raised in Southern California, but all throughout the state, from Southern California all the way to the top of the state, you get all kinds of hate gangs, organizations, little tagging crews, little wrecking crews, party crews, spray painting crews, whatever, dude, lowrider crews. You have all these diverse groups and diverse bunches that are just running around with all kinds of different intentions and agendas and stuff like that. And it's pretty interesting if you actually take a look at it. And the study of gangs is real interesting as well. But this one right here, there was a gang coming out of straight from Sacramento called Wolfpack. All right. Now, the reason why I'm, sharing and educating people on this one right here is because it was a unique gang. It was a unique setup, and I had also had the privilege and the honor of meeting the president of the person who started this gang, and I kind of got to pick his brain on how he started it, why he started it, and everything that they kind of went through. So it's pretty special to me. So check this out, man. A while back, around 2009, I'd say 2009, all of a sudden there's a crew on the map. There's a crew on the map out here in California in the prison systems called Wolfpack. Bro, I was from Kenai, bro. Like, Wolfpack, what the hell is Wolfpack? Now, Wolfpack, see, the interesting thing about them is under the same umbrella, they started recruiting woods and skinheads into the same gang. Now, the president, the person who actually founded this gang, his name is Danny Boy Reagan, okay? Danny Boy Reagan. Now, everybody has this perception of, like, what a white supremacist looks like, or what a biker looks like, a hardcore biker looks like, or what a hardcore white supremacist looks like. Well, let me tell you something. I met Danny Boy Reagan when I was in Tehachapi Shoe. Okay, Danny Boy Reagan was what I viewed a white prison gang member appearance. What I visualized is how he looked. Now, this dude had like the Viking helmet tattooed on his forehead, like he was completely blasted from head to toe. He stood about 6'3", 6'4", and when you look into this man's eyes, you can tell that there's a disconnection to emotions up in that body of his and that soul. He is totally emotionless, okay? You can see that this man has been through some things, and you can tell just by looking into those dark eyes that he has done some things himself, okay? And in order to have, hold on one second. Hold on, when you call me like that. Those are the tamales right there. So in order to have, this type of respect, in order for anybody to be able to control a gang, any gang, I don't care which one it is, I don't care if it has more than 20 heads in it. If you can control a gang of that significance, bro, then you have to be about something and you have to be respected, because you can't run a gang without respect. And one of the first things to be able to run a gang and to have people listen to you, bro, is to have respect. If you don't have respect, then no one's going to follow you, bro, because they don't respect you and they're going to backstab you. They're just not going to follow your instructions, okay? Now, respect is earned, bro. It's not just given. So this dude, Danny Boy Reagan, okay, went through the grinder, bro. Now, here's what happened, and this is kind of a complex situation, dude. Now, I've shared my experiences about USAS, bro. Now, it's not a secret, man. It's not a secret of what I did to the top dog of USAS, Mr. Riley DeVore, and how, I'm not proud of it, but I shared that experience. I've shared that experience of what I did to Riley DeVore, and Riley DeVore, to this day, is the number one high counsel of USAS. USAS stands for United Society of Aryan Skinheads. They are an organization of National Socialists. They are neo-Nazis. Those are the type of dudes that are marching around main streets of certain cities, in their boots and braces, and they're having...
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Going around with flyers trying to recruit and brainwash other white kids to join their organization and try to instill this racial hatred inside them. That's USAS. I've never gotten along with USAS, bro. I've never been a fan of them. I don't like their beliefs. I still, to this day, continue to feel the same way as I did. USAS had declared war, okay? They declared war on Kenai, Aryan Brotherhood, and Nazi lowriders. I know this for a fact because I shared an experience about how I intercepted a kite from USAS to another dude declaring war on us. So I read these kites. I read them personally. That was a main reason. That was one of the biggest reasons why we went after them, and I took out the head of the snake. I went after the head of the snake, bro, 100%, okay? So what they were doing, USAS, they were rallying people to throw out this idea that what they were doing and the organization that they were running and the direction they were going was the way to go. That was the way to go, bro. So they were getting inside of a lot of people's heads, other skinhead groups and organizations and just regular skinheads, independent skinheads. They were getting inside of them and making them feel like being a part of their little society. That's why they call it United Aryans, skinheads of its society, United Society. So you can be from another crew but still be USAS, because USAS is just considered an idea. And that's what a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't realize that. So when they're going around and they're rallying all these troops and these dudes from other crews, that's how they present it. They present it like, hey, bro, you can still be Wolfpack, brother. You can still be you, but you're still one of us. You're still part of the United Society, okay? It's a society of all kinds of different factions of skinheads that all group up under this one banner. So that's what they were trying to accomplish. And the reason that they were trying to accomplish this is because of the power that we had, Peni alone, and we had about 500 members running around the streets and the prison system with great power of dudes who were really, really aggressive that USAS could not conquer. There was no way in the world were they going to get to the top, take out the Aryan Brotherhood, take out Peni, take us out without having mass amounts of numbers. Because PDS, we already had the numbers and we already had the power established. And we had goons that will take you out in a second. We didn't think twice about it. See, that was the difference between Peni and USAS when they declared this war. It's Peni, the moment that they declared war, we went straight for them and we gunned them down. And that's what happened. That's what Peni is about. Our gang, we thrive on aggressiveness. We thrive on power and being more psychotic than any other group there was, period. So that's why a lot of people didn't want to mess with us, is because we have 500 psychopaths who'll be knocking on your front door if you mess with us, okay? But nevertheless, United Society of Aryan Skinheads, they had the ability to get into these other groups' heads and brainwash these other crews, and that's what happened with Wolfpack. Okay, now this whole little thing with Wolfpack, a lot of people, they don't know the ins and outs of it. I do, because I was in the inner circle of things and I knew all the information about it because we were running shoes and I dealt with firsthand information, period. Okay, so Danny Boy Reagan, man, was out there on the streets, okay, and he started this Wolfpack gang. But when he started this gang, his intentions it was just supposed to be a unified group of white boys that stuck together. That was it, in Sacramento. It was just a Sacramento thing where everybody gets together. They weren't supposed to be any type of troublemakers. He was just trying to unify whites, regardless that they were woods and skins, because whites are the minorities up there in the capital city, Sacramento, okay? There's a lot of northerners and there's a lot of blacks.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Yeah, so this dude, Danny Boy Reagan, was out there on the streets and he was just doing the family thing, okay? So he starts this Wolfpack gang of his. He's already done his recruiting. And he put these, certain people in charge. But mind you, let me tell you something about this dude, Danny Boy Reagan. Before he even started Wolfpack and became the president of Wolfpack, he was a Sacramaniac, and he was a high-ranking Sacramaniac at that, and decided he's going to start his own gang and have his own followers, okay? So he was out there on the streets, running this tattoo shop and staying out of trouble. He was working. He was doing all these things right, trying to make it out there and be successful. He was a good person. He was, had his own Harley, and he would just work and come home, and he was tattooing and doing that type of thing, not even realizing or even knowing, because, even though he was the president, he wasn't keeping tabs on his gang. He wasn't keeping tabs on them. And that, one of the biggest mistakes you make is not keeping reins on your gang, dude. You don't do that, because it's going to reflect on you. Being the president, everything that these guys do is going to be the president. Oh, okay, hold on 1 second, my tamale. Thank you. Hold on, let me say thank you real quick. Yes, sir. Hey, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Yeah. All right, sorry. Ready? We're good, right?
Yes, sir. You are good.
Okay. And you just don't do that because you don't know what the going on with your gang, and the next thing you know, and that's exactly what happened here. That's exactly the case. So he's over here doing this family thing, and then next thing you know, the skinheads, not the Woods, it was the skinhead part, the skinhead faction of Wolfpack decided to start flying in allegiance and took an oath to run with USAS and Coolers and all these other dudes that decided to go up against us in the Aryan Brotherhood. Okay, so all these guys are in prison now. All these Wolfpack members, Woods and Skins, are in prison, and now you got these skinhead parts, the skinhead faction running with them, and now word starts to circulate that these guys from Wolfpack are now USAS. And what happens is, next thing you know, they're greenlighted. And the reason they got greenlighted is because we never knew that there was a split in the Wolfpack. We didn't know that there was skinheads and Woods. We didn't know that there was a separate faction like that. We had no idea of that. We just Wolfpack was Wolfpack. Next thing you know, we find out that they are 100% rolling and they're a part of that war that was declared among us, so they get green-lighted. Now, we're stabbing these Wolfpack dudes now. All these dudes didn't matter if they were Woods or skinheads. It did not matter. We're stabbing these dudes. And next thing you know, Danny Boy Reagan gets life in prison on a third strike for a minimal case, and now he's in prison doing life on a third strike, and he ends up in Salinas Valley. And he had no idea that his gang was green-lighted. He had no idea. He's going around not realizing that, without that information, introducing himself as Danny Boy, the president of Wolfpack. So he comes to Salinas Valley on the 180 prison active and telling people that, okay? Next thing you know, his ass is on the chopping block, dude, and they're coming. But he catches wind because, on the active main line, you get a lot of people that gossip. People gossip and they slip and they talk, dude. It's like a bunch of heckling hens out there, bro. I'm serious. So he ended up catching wind that he was targeted by assault, and Danny Boy Reagan does what he has to do and gets off the yard. He gets off on another white dude, ends up in the hole in Salinas Valley, and they issue him a 1030 that says targeted for murder by the Aryan Brotherhood prison gang. They put him on a DRB, which is the Departmental Review Board, which determines whether or not he's a safety concern or not. They're not going to let him back out to the main line until they find out the status of this individual. Okay? So they have the 1030, and since he got off on that white dude, he owes a shoe term, and that's when he ended up in Tehachapi prison right next to us. He lands right next to us, me and my homeboy Elephant, and we knew all about it. And he's asking us questions. He doesn't even know why. He's like, dude, why am I in trouble? Why is my gang in trouble? And we tell him what's up. We said, bro, check this out, man. Your gang is part of USAS. And he said, what? He goes, no, man. It can't possibly be because half of the gang is Woods. And that's when we found out right then and there that he was recruiting Woods and Skins. So not all of you Wolfpack was running with them. And we told them, we said,
this call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
how are we supposed to differentiate the difference between a Wood? How do we identify a Wood Wolfpack and a fucking skinhead Wolfpack? There's no way to do that, bro, nor is anybody going to take the time to do that before they stab him, bro. You guys are fully green-lighted. Bro, you got to clean it up. This dude is the president, and this is the whole unique story about this guy, man. This is what's crazy. Most people, bro, in this dude's shoes, because it was already so far gone, like Wolfpack was already so far into the green light initiation, bro. Like there was really no coming back, bro. Like this dude's going to get murdered and then they'll think about it type of thing, okay? That's how the AB works, man. They will take you down, bro, for all the damage that has been caused and you being the president of that gang. It doesn't matter if you're trying to clean it up now. It doesn't matter if you are going to claim that you didn't have any, knowledge of it, bro. You're going down, bro. They're going to make a statement. That's how the AB rolls, period. At least out here in California, they do, bro. And I looked at Danny Boy. We were in cages next to each other, and I looked at this man, bro, and let me tell you something. I got nothing but respect for this man to stand firm on his beliefs. And he said, no way am I going to let this go down. He said, my gang, when I started this gang, they were loyalty to the AB. This cannot be possible, so I'm going to do whatever I got to do to weed these dudes out. And I was like, well, okay, we respect that. You need to get to where the fellas are. Now, when the DRB was up, when the DRB, the Departmental Review Board was up, at that same time, the Asker settlement happened. For those who don't know, the Asker settlement was the one that let all validated members and associates out of the shoe. And now Danny Boy Reagan gets kicked out on a DRB targeted by the Aryan Brotherhood, and he lands on a yard in Pelican Bay with like 5 bona fide members of the Aryan Brotherhood. The ones that I'm familiar with, the ones that I know that he was up there with, was Pat Brady, bona fide member. Rob Johnson, bona fide member. Cowboy, bona fide member. Todd Morgan, bona fide member. And Dale, bona fide member, all right there with Danny Boy. And they pull Danny Boy over and they start questioning him. And let me tell you something. If you can only just take the time to realize the intensity and understand the intensity that this man had to go through just sitting there, knowing that his gang is greenlighted by the Aryan Brotherhood, and now you're standing in a pack with some original bona fide members of the most notorious white supremacist gang there is. And you know what ends up happening? Rather than him going through the grinder, what he did, though, he pulled resources and he did what he had to do to prove his ultimate loyalty to the Aryan Brotherhood. Rather than tapping out, rather than checking in, rather than taking the easy way out, this dude, Danny Boy Reagan, started calling in the troops. He started calling in the troops, bro, and started weeding them out. And he did that, and that showed how much power he had inside the Wolfpack gang and how much people respected him, how much they influenced, how much influence he had, not only in Sacramento, but inside the gang all the way throughout the state. So he had the ability to get that done. So any USAS sympathizer who was Wolfpack, skinhead Wolfpack, they all either got assaulted on the orders of Danny Boy, or they ended up disappearing because they were afraid of the assaults that they were being happening. And that was all throughout the state. And the Aryan Brothers they've seen that. The Aryan Brotherhood had seen that, and they've seen the ability that this dude had. And rather than taking him out, they made him. And Danny Boy Reagan became an Aryan Brotherhood member, and he got made by all those dudes up there in Pelican Bay. And it was crazy, dude. And this is such a unique story. This type of stuff does not happen. To be able to go through that amount of pressure and still, and then be on the bottom of the Aryan Brotherhood and greenlighted by the Aryan Brotherhood, and next thing you know, you are the Aryan Brotherhood. Danny Boy Reagan, man, and that is a story, man, and people who, I'm sure there's a lot of people who are listening to this or going to listen to this video, and they know exactly who I'm talking about, and let me tell you something, man, that dude, if you look at him, he is like the poster child of what it is to be a prison gang member. And I was right there firsthand witnessing it all. And let me just throw this out. I always have a little message that I put out there, and then there's a learning lesson behind this. But does that sound like fun to anybody, kids? Does that sound like fun to have to go through all these type of things? No. So, you want to think twice about joining these gangs or starting gangs and having to go through that. You don't want to put your life at risk because you decide to start a gang one day or whatever. And, there's some education for you, and I hope everybody enjoyed this story because it was a unique one. And it was a very big deal at these times when I'm sharing this story. This was legendary stuff. This is legendary California stuff that was going on in the prison systems, man. Big time business. So I hope everybody appreciated it. Thank you.